What's going on, guys? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. If you guys are wondering why I am wearing my Flashback Indians jacket, it's because I feel so bad for all of you that are currently living in the middle of the United States as well as like the upper East Coast, because in Chicago, if you live in Chicago right now, if you are a Cubs fan now, it's -30, so you guys get what you get because you beat us in the 2016 World Series, so that's cold.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But anyways, yeah, -30, I cannot believe that that is even possible. It's colder in Chicago right now than it is Antarctica. So yeah, 2019, off to a great start. I wanted to wear my jacket so I could show some support to all my guys out in the Midwest. So without further ado, we have so much baseball news to talk about, which is kind of weird because nothing's happened, but there's a lot of rumors that have been swirling around, and one of them actually, big one. But before we actually get into the recent news, we have to talk about one thing. Today is Jackie Robinson's 100th birthday. If he was still alive, he would have been 100. So what I want to do right now is just want to say thank you, Jackie Robinson, to all of his family members out there that are currently still alive with us. I want to say thank you for continuing on the legacy. We all know Jackie Robinson was one of the best baseball players in history, but the main thing is that he was one of the greatest human beings in American civil rights history. So Jackie Robinson, happy 100th birthday. All right, guys, so now it is officially time to get into the meat and potatoes of today's news. Bryce Harper, the man who was supposed to be announcing his Philly thing, because the MLB The Show was out here saying that, you know, Philly fans should get ready, and it was just, honestly, I love MLB The Show, but they trolled us pretty good because they came out with a Bartolo Colon trailer as opposed to Bryce Harper signing with the Philadelphia Phillies. I had their post notifications turned on because I was getting ready to make a video saying that Bryce Harper was indeed signing with the Phillies, but of course that did not happen. Now, apparently, the Padres are in on the Bryce Harper sweepstakes, and then there's a couple things that we have to kind of delve into in regards to Bryce Harper and San Diego, because San Diego and Bryce Harper go back a little bit. So a couple years ago, Bryce Harper actually got married at one of the Mormon temples in San Diego. It's funny because I fly out to San Diego sometimes to meet with the San Diego Studios team, the people that make MLB The Show. I was actually out there last month testing the new game and meeting with them for the community days for MLB The Show 19. So I've been to San Diego. It's super nice. I was taking an Uber back to my hotel, and someone said, or the Uber said, look at that big mansion thing, cathedral, and it was where Bryce Harper got married. So he's been to San Diego before. And there's one other thing. So we all know that Bryce Harper is the cover boy of MLB The Show 19, so obviously he's been to San Diego, and it's been reported that he has really sort of embraced the area and he likes it. So Bryce Harper to the Padres, let me know in the comment section down below, do you think it's going to happen? The reason why I'm talking about getting married and the fact that he's on the cover of MLB The Show 19, again, there's a lot of reasons why players sign with a team aside from baseball, but now we're going to go over the baseball reasons as to why Bryce Harper might sign with the Padres, because honestly, it's not too far-fetched. Bryce Harper has only played in 12 games at Petco Park, but in those 12 games, he's hitting .341 with 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, and an over 1,000 OPS. Those are Barry Bonds numbers. Those are Christian Yelich in the second half of 2018 numbers. So if we put everything into perspective, he hits really well at Petco Park. He loves the area. He was married in San Diego. It's almost like a match made in heaven. The only thing is, the Padres have a very crowded outfield. I mean, just to start, they have Travis Gronkowski. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. They have Franchi Cordero, Franmil Reyes. Bill Myers is still on the team. Manuel Margot. They have a plethora of outfielders. Now, the only thing is, all of the names that I just said, Bryce Harper is better than all of them. So I don't understand why a lot of people are saying he's not going to go to the Padres, because they already have too many outfielders. Now, here's where having too many outfielders is a positive for Padres fans and Bryce Harper. So in my opinion, if Bryce Harper chooses to go to the San Diego Padres, I think that the outfield should be Will Myers, Hunter Renfroe, and Bryce Harper. You have power, you have speed, you have guys that can cover some ground, and they all have pretty good arms. I think that is a pretty solid core going forward. Now, here's what you do. Franmil Reyes is a left-handed bat. Also, in the middle of the 2018 season, they traded for catching prospect Francisco Mejia, so he is a top prospect. He's supposed to be like the next Victor Martinez in professional baseball. So here's what the Padres could do if they did sign Bryce Harper, because they have so many outfielders. They can ship Francisco Mejia and Franmil Reyes to the Miami Marlins, because what do the Marlins need? they need a catcher in return for JT Realmuto, and they need a left-handed power bat. So that's what Franmil Reyes would fill. And also, you get Francisco Mejia in return. So the JT Realmuto trade doesn't hurt you as much. So I think that's, honestly, that's the best thing that could happen. Now, that is the only scenario that I envision Bryce Harper actually going to San Diego. I still think that his decision is somewhat leaning towards Philadelphia. I feel like if I took a poll of you guys, if you were all standing in front of me right now and I said, raise your hand if you think that Bryce Harper is going to go to Philly, I feel like 80% of you would. But if you do think that he's going to go to the Dodgers, the Braves, the Phillies, the Yankees, any other team aside from the Padres, let me know in the comment section down below. It's so weird because I use my phone for my notes and I still have my Bryce Harper case when he won the home run derby, so I'm not sure if he's going to be on the Nationals anymore. Who knows? This might have been the last cool moment of Bryce Harper's career in Washington, because I know he might be going to San Diego, he might be going to Philly, blah, 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 blah. He just needs to sign already. Even Zach Ertz, the tight end for the Eagles, he's getting sick of it too. All right? Announce already. So we just talked about Bryce Harper in depth, the fact that he rakes in Petco Park, he likes the San Diego area, and then we hinted at the possibility of a JT Realmuto trade. The Padres seem to be in the best position to land JT Realmuto, but the Marlins, they're in the final stages of the trade with a lot of different teams, with the Dodgers, the Reds, the Padres, and the Braves. So if you're asking me as a baseball fan, again, I'm not a fan of any of these teams, as you can tell. As you can tell, I'm an Indians fan. I would hope that he would come to the Indians, because the Indians, we don't have any catchers. None. We traded Mejia. We lost Yan Gomes. We have Roberto Perez and Travis Plawecki. I think that's how you say his name. But if you're asking me as a baseball fan, I feel like if he goes to the Braves, if JT Realmuto is actually traded to the Braves, the Braves, the fact that Ronald Acuna Jr. is going to be one of the best players in baseball next year. They already have Freddie Freeman, again, one of the top first basemen in the league. They signed Josh Donaldson. They do have Brian McCann. But Brian McCann is not going to hit you 20 home runs, steal you 15 bags, or throw out 60% of his runners anymore. So if you can add JT Realmuto to that mix, I think that's the perfect trade. But that's just me. What do you guys think? Should JT Realmuto be traded to the Dodgers, the Padres, the Reds, or the Braves? In my opinion, I think the Braves would be the best bet, because he can get a chip. But also, if you think about just winning a championship, he might be best suited to go to the Dodgers, because they just picked up AJ Pollock. But if the Dodgers don't get Bryce Harper or JT Realmuto, and the only offseason moves that they made are getting rid of Puig and Matt Kemp and only getting AJ Pollock, ooh, Dodger fans ain't gonna be happy. All right, guys, so now it's time to get into some Cleveland Indian trade talk. Corey Kluber is apparently still on the trading block, and I feel like I made a video about this 2 months ago. Corey Kluber's not gonna get traded, man. He's definitely not. The only two teams, it's funny because the Padres are pretty much in every single rumor throughout this video. The only two teams that I can see the Indians actually partaking a deal with are the Padres and the Yankees. The Padres, again, the Indians, we need an outfielder, and they have a plethora of outfielders. So I would want Franchy Cordero or Franmil Reyes in return. I'm not a huge fan of Manuel Margot, even though he is a pretty solid prospect. I think Will Myers is way too injury prone, but I really like Franmil Reyes. I really like him. He had a 480-foot home run last year at Chicago, so the guy can rake. He can still use a few bags. He's pretty good in the outfield. He's got a nice arm. I think he's a pretty solid prospect. So would I give up Corey Kluber for him? Maybe if you added a pitching prospect and a relief pitcher, I'll do that. Because if we think logistically, the Indians do already have Carlos Carrasco, Trevor Bauer. Mike Clevenger showed that he can be a top 3 pitcher in a rotation. We also have Shane Bieber. So the Indians, even if we lose Corey Kluber, who has been pretty terrible in the postseason the last 2 seasons, I don't know. I think we'd be able to stay afloat as long as we get some offense in return. So speaking of the Yankees, we just brought them up a little bit when we were talking about Corey Kluber, how the Padres and the Yankees seem to be in the mix. I feel like the Yankees are one starting pitcher away from really being considered the favorites to win the 2019 World Series. If they can pick up Gio Gonzalez, Irvin Santana, or Wade Miley, that is going to bolster their rotation even more than what it already is, because they added James Paxton, they have Luis Severino, they re-signed J.A. Happ and CC Sabathia, not to mention they still have Masahiro Tanaka, who pitched fairly well last year. If they can add one more pitcher, they're going to be looking, ooh, it pains me to say it, because again, I'm not a Yankee hater, but the Yankees win the World Series. They've already won so many, they might be the favorites. So the last 2 pieces of news that we have to talk about real quick, we're just going to jump into them. We're going to swan dive into the news. Apparently, there is no imminent news on Manny Machado. I tweeted a couple hours ago that someone came out with a report. Manny Machado is not close to a deal, and I quote tweeted it with who, because I mean, it's taking so long for these guys to sign. And again, I have to look at it with the glass half full. I'm not in their shoes, or I should say cleats, in this position. I'm not about to uproot my life, travel across the country in some cases to sign with a new team, bring my entire family, sell my old home, buy a new home, and just really, it's a different change. But they're getting paid a lot of money, so I hope that they sign soon because spring training is around the corner. And I just want to make the video already. I want to say Bryce Harper confirmed to the Mets, to the Yankees, Manny Machado confirmed to the Dodgers or the Phillies or the White Sox, wherever they're going to go. I just want to be able to make that video and provide you guys with some news because even my mom, I talked to my mom yesterday, she said, it's annoying. And I agree with you, Mom. And then last but not least, Mark Reynolds, who had a 10 RBI game last year with the Nationals. I think he hit 241 with 10 home runs and 41 RBIs. Don't quote me on that, it's just off the top of my head. Last year with the Nationals, so he was pretty decent. He just signed a minor league deal with the Rockies where he's played before. So Mark Reynolds, one of the best power hitters in baseball. Put him at Coors Field. That is a deadly combination. He's shown before that he can be an absolute force in Coors Field, so we'll see how that plays out. He did get an invite to spring training. We'll see if it makes the team. Also, speaking on the Rockies, Carlos Gonzalez, I did not realize this. He is a free agent. So if any of your favorite teams need an outfielder, would you want to sign Carlos Gonzalez? So speaking for myself, I love Cargo. I think he's one of the best players, or at least he was one of the best players in the league. He's probably bottom tier now, but his swing is still beautiful. He still has a pretty good arm. He can maybe steal you 5 to 10 bags. He can just be a platoon guy. If I'm an Indians manager, if I was the GM, or if I was a Mets person, I'd sign him. I'd give him that. Guys, I am going to wrap up the video right there. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, slap a like on this video. Also, slap a like on this video if you want Bryce Harper and Manny Machado signed by next week. So in the next 7 days, they should sign. And if you like the video, it might happen sooner. Also, if you enjoyed, make sure you guys subscribe because there's so much more baseball content coming. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.